prior to the flood. And everything you see that is listed there that was going on, they said blood was flowing in the streets. I mean, look at Newark, New York, Camden, Philly. Blood flows in the streets. Our boys are killing one another. And it talks about how wicked man had become. But Noah, we're going to give him a chance. And Noah gets out there. It had never rained. Never rained. And Noah starts preaching. Come on in. He starts building an ark, a big boat out there in the desert, dry land. It'll come on in. It's going to rain. That's one more crazy man. It ain't never. The Lord moistens the ground for fruit and vegetable by the dew. The ground up. We've never seen water come down. Didn't stop Noah. He kept saying it's going to rain. It's going to rain 120 years. And finally, do y'all know that comes a time when God gets sick of you? He said, my spirit's not always going to strive with man. I mean, there's a cutoff time. Even if it's not his second coming, there's a cutoff time for every one of us. And he said, come on in. Come on in. They laughed. They made fun. Come on in. And then it was cutoff time. And the Lord told Noah, get your family and come on in. My dad started a church, and when my dad started a church, we eventually tried to stay at the nice, beautiful place that we had built. But the Lord kept telling me, no, you go and you help your dad with that mission. And people used to say, that's a family church. All youngs there. And the Lord let me read this scripture about Noah. Yes, Lord. There were only 8 people in the earth that were saved. And guess what? They were all one family. The Lord said, you stop feeling shame because your sisters and your brothers are saved and your brothers preaching and that. So you ought to thank God your family's saved. But people will talk to you and try to make you feel shame. They'll try to throw a guilt trip on you. I said, oh boy, everybody in the church almost is our family. He showed me where only 8 people in all of the earth were saved. And so America has its comfort. The wicked shall be turned into hell. And all nations are going before the Supreme Court because most of this, not most of them, but several of the states are for gay marriages. A man marrying a man and a woman marrying a woman. God burned up 2 cities for less than that. You don't read nowhere in there where they were married. You really don't. Read it. I've searched all through that. They ain't never asked to get married. And the Lord said it's an abomination. And he destroyed 2 cities. 2 cities. Abraham said, please don't do that. Just like people today don't believe that something's going to happen. Oh God, you're too merciful. Please don't do that. So Abraham said, Lord, don't kill them all. He said, well, if you can find 75, I'll save the cities. He came back, Abraham, I can't find 75. He come down to 50, 40, 20. And they got down to 10. You tell your nephew to get out of there. Y'all read the Bible. I've had it. Can't even find 10 righteous people in 2 cities. Sodom and Gomorrah. He couldn't find 10 people. Don't tell me about no New York with the millions. You'd be surprised at the few that God has in New York. Don't care anything about millions of people here. And so this is God speaking in the Old Testament. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget about God. So let's go over to the New Testament and see what we can find. Number 1, I think we should go to John 14 so that at least we know about the other way. There's 2 ways. St. John 14, start with the first verse.
Let not your heart be troubled.
Now, don't get all upset and nervous and all of that. See, when you know you're right, there's no need for you to live nervous. You don't need to live nervous each day. Well, what you want today? I had my whole day planned. The Lord disrupted every plan I had for the day. I did. I'm getting up at 7 o'clock, or by 8 o'clock, I usually have 2 or 3 loads washed. And then I throw stuff in the dryer. While they dry, and I go and run and do some short trips. And what did the Lord do? He let me sleep past my 7 o'clock. And I woke up, it was 9:30. I said, oh. See, you got to learn how to live. And if the Lord want to change your plan, he's in charge. I said, oh, you want me to get up this early? I got a real early something in the morning. Got to be in Jersey City real early. And the Lord said, you little crazy something. I'm going to fix it so. You won't do no washing here at 7. And so he let me sleep through that. And every other plan it seemed that I made for today, the Lord just threw it out. So I said, oh, okay, all right, you got it. I mean, whatever you want me to do, acknowledge him in all your ways. And he'll direct your path. So over there on the 14th chapter, what did it say?
Let not your heart be troubled.
Don't be upset. One scripture said, be anxious for nothing. That means, don't be so soon rattled. Some people are so soon to be, this little thing upsets them. I've never seen so many church people that stay upset. Learn to flow with the flow. Roll with the punches. I don't know what's going to happen. Don't be anxious for nothing. Settle yourself down. Let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, this is Jesus talking.
Believe also in me.
If you believe in God, then believe in me. Read.
In my Father's house are many
Because
mansions.
in my Father's house are many mansions. I've never been in a mansion. I don't know about you. I see some nice places they show on TV. You know, the lifestyle of the rich and stuff like that. So I look at that stuff and I say, ooh, I ain't never been in nothing like that. I thank the Lord for the little house I got. My bed sleeps pretty good. So, you know, be thankful. Whatsoever state you're in, learn to be content. Be content with it. So God want to give you something else. So he said, in my Father's house, I don't know how in the world a lot of mansions are in a house, but that's the way it reads. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. Read. If it wasn't so, why would I tell you something that's not right, that's not real, that's not true? Why not? I would have told you. Read.
I go to prepare a place for you.
This is Jesus. Every house I ever moved in, I had to go in there first and clean the place up. And some people leave a house a mess. Take you a week or two just to clean it up, to move in there. And here Jesus is, boy, this ought to make you run like that brother at the door ran down his arm. Boy, when you think about this, it ought to put running in your feet. Jesus said, I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to get it ready for you. For what?
And if I go and prepare a place for you,
if I go to prepare a place for you,
I will come again.
I'm coming back for you.
And receive you unto myself.
I will receive you unto myself.
That where I am,
that where I'm going,
there ye may be also.
There you can come too. Isn't that exciting? Yes. Wow. A mansion. God got mansions for us. That where I am, you can come to. Boy, you ain't got to order no furniture for that. You ain't got to clean that up. It's going to be prepared for you. Now you can choose to go there. Or you can choose to go where David said in Psalms, the wicked will be turned into hell in all nations. Now let me read you this story over here about hell. Luke the 16th chapter. And read from the 19th verse. I think we ought to tell people both sides of the story. I don't think you ought to make people think that whatever way they live, they're going to heaven anyway. I heard a man the other day on television said, you are the righteousness of God.